Welcome to this dramatic therapy monologue. Listen to this meditation with an open mind and heart. In between each part, focus on your breath. Start now by inhaling deeply through your nose and slowly exhaling through your mouth. Then gently turn your attention to the natural rhythms of your breath. I carried a road map in my head for years, scrawled over with dreams. Always, I pictured myself somewhere else, somewhere bigger, somewhere the air tasted like possibility. I never told anyone, but when I was a boy, 13, my father let me hold his car keys one night. I sat behind the wheel and imagined everything might be different somewhere just past the horizon. I have never really outgrown that longing. I do not know why. Maybe it is in my bones, or maybe it is just old pain that will not heal. So, I booked the tickets. I imagined my heart would leap at the sight of that Mustang convertible in the LAX car hire center. The thing gleamed in the LA sun like every American dream distilled into chrome and leather. I wanted to believe that by climbing in, I would drive away from loneliness, from doubt, from the dull, gnawing ache inside me. I thought it might be that simple. I pulled onto the highway, the music playing low, the roof down. For a while the Sunset Strip glittered ahead like a river of light. I had dinner at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, surrounded by gorgeous ghosts of a city that never truly forgets its sinners. Alone at my table, I pretended I did not mind. The Chateau Marmont haunted me that night. Its walls seemed to whisper stories of wild hope and heartbreak. I tried to listen. All I heard was the uneasy thrum of my own restlessness echoing back. In the morning, the road called. I drove east, past Barstow, a name that always sounded lonely to me, even before I spent the night there. The desert outside was endless, silent, an old God watching me with empty eyes. I made it to Route 66, the world both bigger and emptier than a picture could ever show. Still, I pressed on toward Needles, hoping to outrun myself. The Grand Canyon arrived like a wound in the earth. It struck me dumb. I hiked down, every step a reminder of how small I was. At Phantom Ranch, below the rim, I looked up at the stars. The silence was immense, pressing, almost holy. Yet my mind gnawed at me. Why did I still feel hollow? What was wrong with me, surrounded by beauty, but tasting ash? Valley of the Gods came next, red rocks rising like broken teeth, the sky vast and pitiless. I started to feel untethered from the world. The deeper I drove into Utah, into places where maps became vague and the radio nothing but static, the more acutely I felt my own raw edges. In those mysterious rock formations, carved by time and loneliness, I saw some echo of myself. I tried to make sense of it. My heart hurt in a way I could not name. I will tell you something I never told anyone. By the time I reached those obscure corners of Utah, I was weeping in the car. No tears, just deep, silent sobs. I felt like I had failed at the dream. How could I not be happy in the middle of all this wild glory? The old wound from my childhood, the sense that I would never be enough, not in my father's eyes, not in God's, not in my own. It roared awake inside of me. And the loneliness, it was not the emptiness of the land, but something inside myself. All the places I had dug out and never filled. You must breathe with me now, because I almost gave up. I almost turned the car around, drove back to LA, and pretended none of this had ever happened. But in the stillness, no cars, no voices, only the wind against the rock, I realized something so simple it hurt. No matter where I drove, I always brought myself. The landscapes were overwhelming, yes, but my hope or misery, they came from inside, not outside. Sitting alone beneath those ancient stone arches, I made a decision. I would stop hunting for happiness the way a man searches for lucky coins in a wishing well. I would let the sadness be, let the loneliness drift by like desert thunderclouds. I would accept that my joy, or at least my peace, could exist right where I stood. I could choose it. I did not need to run from myself any longer. The world turned quiet and golden. I was still alone, but I was all right. More than all right. The drive to Salt Lake City felt gentler after that. The sky was the same, but my eyes were softer. I understood finally that happiness is something you grow, not something you chase. That wherever you are, there you are. And that is enough. That is always enough. As the plane lifted off from Salt Lake City, I looked down at the vanishing red earth and thought, I am the only companion I will ever have for every mile of this life. From here on, I will try to be kinder to that companion. Thank you for listening. Let your next breath be a gentle reminder. You can be as happy as you make up your mind to be, no matter where you are. The journey is always yours.